Hi, welcome to All Things Possible with Kris and Bill Barney.
That's me, Bill.
Today we're going to be talking about why is it important to belong. There are a lot of things in this, and we're going to get into some depth as to why this topic right now, and how we can have this help us, or we can actually connect with others to make sure that that's not where they're really.
And absolutely, and this belonging is so important, not only in our society for our emotional well-being, but I think it's the one key ingredient that's missing with so many people that's causing them to want to take their lives. And so if you love someone who is struggling, or if you're struggling with yourself, you'll really want to watch this topic and see how something simple can be a big key to the wanting to belong.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of depression, anxiety, a lot of things going on. We want to get into some depth of that. But first we want, if you haven't joined our community, we would love to have you
join us down here on the beach.
Yeah, come on down to the beach. We're filming a few different episodes from different beaches, and today we are on the
We're in Crystal Cove Beach. Now that's in California.
And we've done 4 or 5 beaches, been biking the beaches and having a great time in December, which has been awesome.
Well, there's a snowstorm going on at our home, so it's a great day for us to be down here watching a beautiful sunset on the beach.
So join us at allthingspossible.biz. We're a little distracted with the sunset going on and the beach and the waves coming in, but join us at allthingspossible.biz. So today, let's talk about this. There's a big disconnect in our society right now. A lot of suicide. There's been a heightened amount, and a lot of people talk about it, a lot of attempts for suicide. There's, our dating has changed, and there's a lack of
there's
connection.
A big disconnect in society. People are not connecting at the level they used to. I mean, texting is awesome. I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world when it first came out. But once I got to it, it was so much nicer to be able to send somebody a short text and not get caught up in a long conversation. You can just handle your business and be done. But yet I think we've gone over the line of convenience into we're losing connection with people with texting, with social media. We feel like, oh, I've got all these people. I know what's going on in their life. But it's superficial. It doesn't go down to the core of the soul, this sense of belonging. We're not saying you shouldn't text, you shouldn't do social media,
right?
But we're lacking, we're giving up something else, and we feel that that's very key and important.
Right, we're gaming, and we're doing things where we're by ourselves, and we're not having to have that social connection. And it's the connection that we're missing. We need to belong. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and this goes way back, you can look it up, but the first level is our physical level.
It's physiological.
Physiological. It's our food, water.
It's your basic necessity
roof over your head
to sustain life.
And then and it's the basics. The second piece is safety. We have to feel safe
and secure.
Right.
We have to feel like we have a job. We have a way to provide for our needs. We have to have the roof over our head. We feel like our health needs to be to where we feel like that, we have a quality of life with our health.
And the third one is to belong. Love and belong. And isn't it interesting that the first two have to be met before the third can ever come into feeling like you are there?
Yeah, because if all you're trying to do is get enough food to live another day, it doesn't really matter what friends you have, right? But in our society, most of those needs are met. Now, there may be time when we may feel unemployed or underemployed, but that's not a long-term thing. And most people, those needs are pretty well met in our society, taking care of not only our physiological needs that keep us alive and safe and secure, but then the job, the situation,
safety and security,
and health. Yes. But you get into the belonging, and I believe this is where the breakdown is. So this pyramid, there's 5 levels to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, or this, they call it a pyramid, a triangle, whatever. You build one upon the other. And like I say, if you're not worried about or if you don't know where your next meal is coming from, the last thing you need to be worrying about is where you belong, or if you have good health, because you just need to get some food in you to survive. And they build on each other like that. And this is the one where I think we're falling down in society, that people don't feel like they belong. Let's just talk a little bit about the other 2 needs, and then we'll circle back to belong, because I think this is the key ingredient that keeps people from moving forward in life right now.
Well, and after we belong, we move to the self-esteem, or it's a freedom level. It's that we believe in ourselves, and we have respect, and we have strength and power, and we've moved past that feeling like we fit in and belong to that feeling good with ourselves, having confidence.
I feel like that other people admire you, or that you have value to other people.
And you bring value to the table.
Where you feel like you have something to contribute, is getting to that point of self-esteem and connection. So.
And the top one is self-actualization. And it's putting it out there, being a leader, having people not necessarily follow you, but yes, follow you. That you have things of value to say, and that people look up to you.
And not only that, but you're out at the hierarchy, or at the top of this pinnacle, where you go to self-actualization. That's where you're putting it out. Instead of taking in, you're putting out. You're serving others with your gifts.
And it's a focus. You have a service focus, and you're seeing what you can do for others, how you can assist others, how you can make a difference, what you can do. And it becomes a way of life, that you want to make that change. You want to serve other people. So as we talk about this, and we have this hierarchy of needs, we get into so why don't we feel like we belong? Like, what's happened? Where's the breakdown? What's going on? We talked a little bit about this big disconnect, that we're not having connections, and that we're on our cell phones, and we're not paying attention. You go to dinner and you're both on your phones, right? We've done that.
Well, how many? Yeah, you go to any social event or like that where people gather, and it's unusual to see somebody that doesn't have their phone out. They're actually paying attention to what's going on around them, and we're not. This isn't a rant about technology
or electronics, right?
But it is a problem, and we need to create a balance in our life amongst these things, because it's a need that we have. It's a human need to feel a sense of belonging, and that is very superficial what we get with technology. It's good, but we need to make sure that we get the absolute touch human connection, face-to-face discourse and connection.
Right, if somebody feels like they belong, they don't want to take their life. They don't feel like checking out. They don't get to that point, right? And so where are areas that you belong? Like, where should you feel like you belong?
One of the basic things, where in a normal experience, the family. Now, we know there are dysfunctional families, but that's where most of us get our first sense of belonging. And yet, for you personally, watching this video, do you feel like you belong in your family? Do you feel like you're really a part of it, or do you feel like you're the one on the outside? Just be aware of that. And some families are so dysfunctional, you don't want to belong to that group, okay? Okay.
Well,
but just be aware that that's a basic for most people.
Well, even as you are parents and you've raised teenagers, there's years in there that the kids really don't feel like they belong. They're going through so many changes, and they don't really know what's happening to themselves, and they have a hard time feeling like they belong. So if you have teenagers, one of the biggest things you can do to help them through this process is to have them feel like they belong. Do activities that incorporate them and their interests and the things that they want to do. I know when we had teenagers, we did rock crawlers and all kinds of things, because that's the interest that our boys were having. So we went from four-wheelers and snowmobiles to rock crawlers. We did things that were in their interest as well, and they became something that we did as a family.
Yeah,
to let them belong.
Sometimes teenagers get so sullen and sulky that it doesn't matter. It doesn't feel like you can say anything to them. They just want to distance themselves from parents enough. That's just a stage some of them go through. But the one thing that Kris really talks about a lot is 10 touches. So even if you just try to say, "Hey, how you doing today?"
Or even just leaning in to where you're touching them.
Did you have a good day today?
Rub their neck, rub their shoulder.
Do something, but a human touch. If you can deliver them, just try to. You don't need to maul your children. I mean, that might be weird.
Or you could, but.
Or you could, but 10 touches, and we all need that, even as in relationships. But that's one thing that you can do with your children. Just try to reach out lightly, touch them. There is a need for that touch. That's
right,
one way
touch
you
is
can
very
connect.
important. Another area that we need to belong is our community. A lot of times there's all different events, whether that's the community arts or whatever's happening in your community. We need to have that community level, whether it's church or school or what that is. It might be a sports. Maybe you're the soccer mom, and maybe are you the football coach?
Yeah, that's me.
Maybe you're coaching the little league team. But how do your kids belong? How are they fitting into the community events and social events? How is that happening for you? Where are you at in relationships? We have to feel like we belong in relationships, that we're not isolated and that we don't have friends, right? And that's important for our kids. It's important for our parents. Parents need to feel like they belong too.
Absolutely. And another one is a lot of people have a great sense of belonging to their church, and yet many times they will go to their whether it be church or whatever, and they sit on the outside, or they sit and they wait for somebody to come and talk to them, and they don't feel like they belong there. It's up to you to engage. It's nice if somebody will come and pull you into the circle, but it's up to you. You need to not just sit there and wait for somebody to take that step. It's a basic need that we have as human beings, is that sense of belonging. And if you'll just insert yourself a little bit, I think you'll find that people will accept you and bring you into the circle.
Right. One of the areas that I've been involved is National Speakers Association. So I became a speaker, and they have an association with chapters all over the world. And I was like, I would go to this meeting and I didn't really feel like I belonged, right? I was kind of out of my comfort zone. I didn't feel like I was as good a speaker as some of the others.
You were just trying to get started, and there's all these big name people.
There was a lot of really awesome speakers.
It was a little intimidating.
But as I volunteered, as I got involved in the board, as I got more engaged, it was what I was doing that made it to where I belonged. So when you're feeling like you don't belong or that you're not part of the group, insert yourself where you can. Volunteer, help out, get on a committee, find a way to do it. We had one girl that she really didn't want to be on the board, but she wanted to be the one that greeted everyone. And she got to know everybody. And all she was doing is standing at the door when everybody came in and said hi. But it made it to where she had conversations with every single person that came to our events.
She developed real connections with the people that came.
And it was her way to have that belonging, to feel connected to the group. So find a way, whether it's a networking group, whether it's a book club, find a way to belong and to feel like you're part of these.
Very good.
And insert yourself is huge.
Yeah. Take those steps. Don't sit back and wait, because
we've got a gorgeous sunset.
I know. I keep looking at it going, oh wow. We're going to swing it around here in a bit.
Before we show you the sunset here is, how do you connect and create a way for others to feel like they belong? What can you do?
So notice the people around you. Be aware. Take your eyes up off the cell phone and look around and see who feels. Just know to ask yourself, does this person feel like they're part of the group? Because as you reach out and bring somebody in, if you can be the one that pulls somebody in, you might just save a life. You might save a life with somebody at that moment was saying, there's no reason for me to go on living. And that's what so many people are struggling with right now. So
we
reach
want
out.
people to stay on this planet.
Absolutely.
Make the connections. Find a way to not only serve by connecting, but it will serve yourself. It will help you feel connected. And we want you to connect to the sunset before we're done.
Yeah, this is really
so
pretty.
As we finish, we're going to just turn this on the sunset. But
okay. Yeah, you want to walk around there and I'll turn the video camera? This is going to be improv here. We don't know what we're doing. So, there you go. So, Kris's face looks a little dark, but that is a gorgeous sunset. Walk that way a little bit, Kris. Okay. All right. So,
am I still in it?
Yeah, you're still in the frame. I'm going to stand over here so we can
see the sunset. It's on Sunset Beach? No, we're on Sunset.
We are on
Crystal Beach. Crystal Cove.
But actually, I don't know if you can see the mountain, a little bit or something, a little mountain over there. That is actually Catalina Island. Out in the distance over there. So there's a lot of beauty in this world. You belong on this planet. Please choose to stay find where you belong, insert yourself, whether it's your family, your community, a social group. That's not just a group of people who wear blue on Mondays. Those are great.
There's all kinds of social media groups, but those will not give you the connection that you need.
They don't feel that basic human connection.
You need, just like you need water and air and sun and sunset, you need connection. You need people. You need to move on.
I want to close with one final thing. We haven't talked about this, but they did some experimenting with, I believe it was just after World War II, with some of these babies in orphanages. And, newborn babies, they just in the orphanage. And the ones that were just fed, that all their needs were taken care of, were really sick and just did not do well at all. But yet if they would take those and hold those babies, it wasn't terrible long time, 15 minutes a day or something. Do you remember the stat?
Right. Well, they said if the babies were just like bottle cropped and that they were not really touched 0 to 4 times a day, that the babies ended up being malnourished. They were smaller, they didn't thrive, they spoke later, their cognitive development was slower. Then if they were touched 4 to 6 times, they were average weight, average skill levels. They learned to crawl at about the average time. And for those who were touched 7 to 10 times a day, they were thriving. They grew faster. Muscle mass was higher. Their cognitive development was quicker. They spoke sooner. They crawled sooner. And they had the motor function skills. It was incredible when I went through these reports, the difference in touch.
The more they felt like they belonged.
Yeah, they belonged and that they were a part of
that
something.
Connection. So let's reconnect, especially with our loved ones. Let's reconnect and make sure that they know they belong here.
And if you're feeling like you don't belong, reach out.
Absolutely.
Allow someone else to be there with you. Because what you'll find is more people feel like this than we think. It's really a bigger group, and all of the clients we work with, all of them feel like they're the one that's out of touch and not in connection.
Yeah, we put on a great mask and we put on a great show for other people. Yeah. Inside, many of us are we're hurting. We're all hurting somewhat. So that's the message we have.
Reach out and belong.
Absolutely.
We're glad you're here with us. Again, join us at allthingspossible.biz. And right this week in California, right? Have a great week. And thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you.